First, we have Ball State head coach James Whitford with us. Coach, if you could please start things off with an opening statement, then we'll take some questions from the media.
Just, I thought it was a great game. It reminds me of a lot of the battles that Toledo and us have had over the last 5 years. And, it was a barn burner. Could have went either direction. Obviously, we certainly had our cracks, as did they. Thought our guys really competed. And, it's never easy to lose these games so close. And, but that's the nature of sports. We were right there. I thought our guys really battled, and congrats to Toledo on a good win.
First question comes to us from Jordan Gusky.
James, I know before the season began, you thought this was the deepest and most talented roster that you had in your time at Ball State. I'm just wondering how tough is it to have a season with so much promise, end in the first round of the MAC tournament?
Well, it's a complicated question. It's hard to see it go in the first round, but what inside of our locker room, that it is what it is. I've been doing this 25 years. Never once would I have any season that would even be in the same stratosphere as the one that we had. And we dealt with an incredible amount of adversity, and it was a year of competitive inequities across the board. And it was complicated for us. We had a lot of difficult things. And what I said to the guys is, I was really proud of them for, we stayed with it all year. And the whole goal was to be one of the best teams in the conference when we got to this stage of the season. And listen, I think we are. I don't have any question in my mind we are at this stage. Now that we finally have everybody back. And I think it would have been a lot different had we had this whole team for 3 months. And had Myron, you name it, all that stuff that And so it's complicated, but I think it would be a very different feeling if, hey, we, went through the year and beat ourselves, or had attitude issues, or had some of the other things that allow you to not necessarily be the way you want to be during the year. But we didn't do that. That's not the story of our season. The story of our season is, hey, we felt with a tremendous amount of adversity, and guys hung in there, and we wanted to be one of the best teams at the end of the year, and we felt like we were. If we'd beaten Toledo, that's the story. And it's literally one possession or one free throw. And the story is, hey, we got there, we beat the number 1 seed, we can beat anyone in this tournament. We know that. And, it's not like the story goes from that to this. That's who we were. And in my opinion, in 4 of the last 5 games. And we just lost a really, really close one. So it's difficult. I can go back my whole career on these games that are at the end, and you can remember every play for the next 12 years, 15 years, or 18 years. And so that'll be the case in this game, but thought our guys really battled, and just disappointed that we didn't have a chance to get into the next round, because we felt like we were good enough to win it, as obviously Toledo is.
And then finally, just, is there a chance you will play in some other sort of postseason tournament, or do you feel like this is it?
No, they canceled the CIT and the CBI and all that stuff this year, so we wouldn't qualify for, obviously, the NCAA or the NIT and those other ones they're not having. So that's it for us. Season's over.
Next question will go to Elton Alexander. I see your hand up, Elton.
Yes, Coach, can you talk a little bit about the end of regulation and overtime? You guys never took the lead until overtime, but you grinded it out until the last couple minutes to at least get the extra session. Can you talk about, again, the last minute and a half, 2 minutes of regulation and the overtime?
Yeah, it just I thought we had a lot of momentum to start the overtime. We got up 5 pretty quickly. And then, had a couple cracks, not necessarily great shots, but had a 3 that could have put us up 8. But I thought the thing that really changed the momentum for them going back, they got an end one at the basket. Marion Jackson drove. Bracken Hazen came over to try to make a play on the ball. He made the layup and the free throw. I thought that we were at tenuous point in the game where we had a chance to really, you start going up 7 or 8 or 9 in overtime, and that can be over quickly. And I thought Marion did a really, he carried him down the stretch. He's a great player. And it's not his 8 for 21 that hurt us. It's his 11 for 12 from the foul line. And I thought his ability to get to the free throw line and in the end of the game in overtime is what really won the game for him.
And talk about the freshman, Ryan.
Yeah, he's a really good player. We were in a battle with them in Kent State to try to get him. He's as good as we would have all thought he was going to be in high school. And I thought he showed a lot of kind of courage today of really playing under the lights in a big stage in a big game. He's a really good player, and he's got a really bright future.
All right, next we'll go to Ian Hansen. Ian, you can unmute your mic.
Yeah, can you reflect on what it means to coach guys like Bracken, KJ, and Ish, the 3 seniors on the team?
Yeah, they're great people. And so I think, yeah, it's awesome that people that are in this industry for a long time will tell you that, the championships are what you're competing for every day, but it's really the relationships that you'll remember forever. 2 guys that Elton Alexander knows, Juby Johnson and Chet Mason, I coached 22 years ago. And now Juby's my son's godfather, and Chet and I are really like close friends. It's the relationships that last with you forever that you get in a mentoring relationship that is really the most meaningful part of this industry. And I don't have any question that those are great people. Like they're going to be great basketball players. They're going to be great dads. They're going to be great professionals. They're going to be great husbands. And they're the kind of people you want to coach. And really proud of the impact that both had on our program and in the community around them. Very similar to the impact that Trey Moses had on our community when I think about a guy like Ish. And just super proud of him and love him to death. And we'll stay close to him for a long time.
Next question is from Connor Smith. Connor, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, James. So despite the loss today, you see what Jarron Coleman was able to do with a career high 33 points. Can you kind of just reflect on maybe the way he's progressed since his injury and what this game maybe said about his style?
Yeah, he's a special talent. He really is. Like he's what you see tonight is what I see often. But he's really talented. I think his ceiling is a lot higher than what you see, that what you would see in some games. He's a really gifted player, and this is probably the best thing I could say about him. He's got a lot to work on. He really does. And that's a great compliment to him because he's a really good player. And I'm also here to tell you he can be a lot better. And I think the league's going to hear a lot from him in the years to come.
Next, Blake Dollier. Blake, you can unmute your mic.
Hi, Coach. Blake Dollier from Newslink, Indiana. I just wanted to ask, you talked a lot about the adversity throughout the season, and obviously in a COVID year, it makes things pretty difficult. How can you guys really grow as a team from this experience and this entire last year?
I think we'll grow a lot. It's been a really, really tumultuous year for us. And it's been really frustrating because there's a lot of things you just can't control, and you're trying to do things right. And you feel like you're doing things right and you're getting penalized for it often. But I think there's a lot of valuable life lessons, it's to me, that's life. You got to be able to dial in on the things that you have complete control over and try to be great at those things. And you got to try to not, let all these other things, it's one of my favorite prayers, a serenity prayer. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. It's a very difficult thing to do, but that we've been challenged in that regard this year at a very high level. But I'm proud of the way we handled it. And there's, it's sports. There's a real feeling of, I'd love to, you'd love to start over from scratch and say, hey, Shoemate's got to sit the year out, like he would have in a normal year. And then we get to have our whole team from the beginning to the end. And we just kind of deal with it and let's see how it goes. And let's lace them up from beginning to end. I think, you'd love that opportunity. But it's life. It is what it is. We're in a pandemic. There's a lot of stuff going on all over the world, and it didn't roll out that way. So look at what are you going to do? Complain about it? No, you can't. You lock in and let's have the year that we want to have. Let's do the things we have complete control over. Let's make the best of a difficult situation, and let's try to be great. And we did. We tried to do all those things. And we were this close, this close to winning this game and being in the semifinals. And the fact that we didn't get there it is what it is. You got to deal with it.
All right, one last question for Coach from Ian Hansen.
Yeah, I'll make real quick. Can you kind of, I know it's rare for players to be here 6 years. What was that lasting impact that KJ Walton had for the program?
There's a lot. I mean, he's he helped us, obviously, helped us a lot today, helped us get to the position we're in. And then it's just who he is as a person. He's been a great teammate. He's a great guy. He's got a college degree. He's a college graduate. He's working on his second bachelor's degree as we speak. And great guy. He's a great uncle. He's got nieces and nephews he's head over heels for, and he's going to be a good player and a good man here for years to come.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Radio is phone call, Joel. So you can take it anywhere you want. Is this room open or someone else? This is Jarron Coleman.
All right, Jarron, we'll just start taking questions. Any questions for Jarron, please send it in the chat or raise your hand. Ian, you can go first.
Yeah, so how much responsibility do you give like the three seniors for kind of helping you grow into who you are as not just a player, but as a person?
I would say, they all help me out in their own individual ways. All my teammates, my older teammates, I've always tried to take in their knowledge, knowing that they're more experienced and been through more things. Starting from my first seniors, TP and Trey. But these three specifically, though, KJ was showing me that you got to go non-stop. You always got to try to win the game. And Ish, he showed me a lot of always staying calm and poised throughout the game, no matter the situation. And Bracken, same thing. Bracken's great on keeping the team poised as well.
And next question, we'll go to Blake.
Again, Blake Dollier from Newslink, Indiana. Jarron, talk about that last shot. You hit the reverse layup, things up, sent us to overtime. And just what were the emotions then, and what are the emotions now going through your mind?
Well, then I was just worried about winning the game. It was a good shot, yeah, but it only continued the game. It didn't win it, so I was on to the next 5 minutes trying to win it. And now I would say, the shot it was good, but it really don't mean nothing now. So.
Elton Alexander, see your hand up. You can go ahead.
Ron, again on that last shot, I think you had maybe 5.5 seconds. Is that the internal clock? Guys are always talking about you going the length of the court. And were you a little worried going, had you gone straight to the front of the rim, I'm sure there wouldn't have been a question about it, but probably going for a reverse layup may have led to some folks having some doubt about it dropping or not. So just kind of go through the last 5 seconds and taking the ball to the hoop.
It was a play coach drew up, help us get in a position to get to the rim easy as can without going through too much help. So it was a great play from coach, and it executed it well.
All right, Jerron, I see no further questions. Thank you for your time. Heck of a season. Appreciate
Yep,
it.
thank you.